Hey, how's everybody doing? This is JJ with Deluxe Vehicle Detailing and Paint Correction here in beautiful Seminole, Florida. Today I'm going to show you the best way to waterproof and stain guard different materials. Primarily in this situation, canvas convertible top on a car. But there are a lot of different materials that can be waterproofed and made to be somewhat stain resistant using the 303 product lineup. I am using Fabric Guard today. This has marine and recreational applications, and it is just an overall around great product. I've gotten about 2.5 years out of the last time I put this on my own personal vehicle, which I'll be showing you in just a moment. And my car is garaged. It almost never sees rain. By accident, maybe it will. And I very rarely wash the convertible top when I'm washing the car. But I did wash this about a week ago. The car's been in the garage ever since. And I'm going to take you over the products you're going to need, and then I'm going to give you a demonstration on the process of applying 303 Fabric Guard. Okay, I'm going to flip you around on the flip side. Ready? There's the flip side. So the first thing you'll want to do is make sure your top is real clean. I use just real simple, just while I'm washing the car, a pH neutral car wash, something without wax in it. And you want to just take I have this long handled, about 20-inch brush here. It's got flagged tip bristles, very, very soft. You don't want to come in here with an aggressive brush and you'll be roughing up the canvas material. So make sure that you're using something soft when you're cleaning a convertible top. I also take lint rollers after the car has been completely dry and given some time. Sitting it in the sun would put that up quite a bit and help dry it off quicker. I do take these rollers and you can see how dirty. Let me get you lighting maybe even a little better there. How dirty. I had a couple cat hairs on here. I've got a cat that if I don't watch how I shut the doors that lead into the house, the cat loves to come up and lay on the convertible top. So you also want to protect yourself. The product has a lot of warnings on the back label that you want to make sure that you are paying attention to. I am not going to be wearing this respirator while I do the short demonstration, but rest assured, as soon as I hit the stop button on the camera, after the demonstration portion, I will be putting on my goggles. I will be wearing gloves. I am covered head to toe. Here's my long sleeves. Here's my long pants. I've got full-toed shoes on. So the product, I'm not going to say that it's extremely hazardous, but you do not want to be breathing in the vapors. And you will also, if you follow my instructions, you will have a bit of the product in a throwaway container because you'll want to be brushing the product in using a simple brush. I've tried the foam brushes. I've tried little rollers. They take up a lot of product. It's easiest if you do the spray application that's recommended, and then you can do a little quick dipping to get around the perimeters. I also will tell you that 303 makes quite a few products in their lineup. The 303 Fabric Guard Marine/Recreational will be listed as their high-tech Fabric Guard, and they also have a Fabric Guard for outdoor fabrics. I just picked mine up on Amazon. I picked this bottle up, and I wasn't really sure. Some of the information on the back was slightly changed, and I know that this product is about 2.5 years old in the bottle. So I actually called the tech line, and they called me back, and they said that the specific gravity, weight, everything's the same. It's essentially the exact same formula, not to worry about anything. Now, this costs more than this, but they told me it's the same formula. I'm going to believe them that it's the same formula. There's marketing out there. Be advised. and I did appreciate the phone call from, let's see, they are called Gold Eagle Company. You can go to 303products.com, check out the full lineup. Like I said, they're on Amazon. I think a 16-ounce bottle of the high-tech is about 20 bucks, so not a huge cost. If you're a professional detailer out there, the square footage is in a 16-ounce bottle, somewhere between 40, looking at my notes here, 40 and 75 square feet. On a small car like this, I think it's about 15 square feet approximately, and so you should easily be able to get 3 applications for the $20 cost, $7 a car. Depending on your clientele and your location in the world, what you're going to charge for this service is, somewhere probably between $50 and $100. But like I said, it's a nice add-on, something that you see, and your clients really will appreciate it. If you're a do-it-yourselfer, you want to, just use precautions. You can do this outside, but I personally, when I'm spraying a product, I don't like how it can carry. You don't want to get it on your paintwork, but I will at this moment tell you that you're going to want to have a nice microfiber towel, maybe with some distilled water on it, so just so you don't make any kind of streaking if your water's hard particularly. So I've got a dry microfiber, and I also have a dry or wet microfiber, excuse me, and a dry microfiber to follow up with, because I like to use, this is a pump sprayer, and I have a rinseless car wash called Optimum No Rinse in that with distilled water. So after I do use the product, I will go around the perimeter before I really, finish, and I'll just make sure that I don't have anything on my surface, and I'll wipe things off. I'll have to be wiping around the back window. They do advise not to allow this to make or contact, or you don't want to get it dried onto fiberglass. So if you're on a boat, you want to be careful of that. You don't want to get it on glass. You don't want to get it on rubber. What was the other? No vinyl. And lastly, it looks like what I've got to say is, if you can go to kind of an inconspicuous area and spray some down. If you were on a car, maybe over on the corner on the passenger side is probably what I would advise. Spray some on, wipe it with a white cloth. Just check the color fastness of whatever surface you're working on. Just as a safety, I really don't see that as being a problem. Let's see if I covered everything here. I've got my notes. Yep, looks good. The cure time on this is between 6 and 24 hours. They give a pretty good variance on that. They do recommend that you let it cure and dry in the sun. That will speed things up, and you'll be closer to the 6 hours. Me, I've got a project going on with the rest of the car. I'm going to leave it right where it is, and I am going to this will have easily 24 hours because I'm going to be doing some work on the car, so no problem there. But if you had to turn it around for a client, you'd want to definitely park it out in the sun. It can't get any dew or rain or anything on it till it's perfectly cured. So keep that in mind. If you don't have a garage to work in, you want to do this, at the beginning of the day, after the dew's gone, the sun comes up. Do this project if you're outside, and then leave it outside the rest of the day. And I think that's about all I wanted to tell you. You can have a few other things handy. I will show you that I've put plastic around the perimeter of this vehicle. And I also have just a manila file folder here. I have taped this off the first time I did it and put tape all around the plastic trim here and protected the glass, and I cut it to size. I was outside, and I put plastic down over the entire surface of my vehicle and wrapped it like it was a prized possession leftover or something. And it's really not necessary, or if you're in a garage in a controlled environment. The only thing that you do have then is ventilation, and you want to make sure, like I do, I've got my fans running, I've got my filter over the fan, I'm going to crack the door and let this air out for probably a couple hours before I come back in, just to make sure everything kind of clears out. When you pour this product in a little container, you will definitely smell it right away. Those petroleum distillates and whatever else is in the ingredients is very, very, it's pungent. So without further ado, I think I've covered all of that. I am going to bring you back in, and I'm going to do the demonstration here. So I'll see you in just a second. All right, so here's the demonstration. It's really pretty straightforward. You just want to use care that you're not getting a lot of overspray, the way you're spraying it. If you're coming down here to get along this edge, I would suggest you kind of tilt the bottle upward a little bit. Again, why you want to be wearing protection. This plastic that I've got on here, I am not going to try to spray down into the seams. You want to use an overlapping sectional type spraying. You don't want to oversaturate the product. It's kind of a fine line. What's too much? What's not enough? I side probably a little bit heavy myself. You can, like I said, use different products like little rollers and things like that to roll it out. You also don't need to. If you're working on a big area that's just open, maybe you're, you don't really have to worry about the overspray where you can get to the edges and things. Maybe you're working on a cushion for some patio furniture and you just want to protect them some. They're getting wet, they're getting soaked. You want to stop that waterlogged feeling. So you can just set that down on your concrete or wherever and just spray away, no problem at all. But for a car situation, I like to just take a little precaution, and I'm going to show you here how I use just a manila folder and get that in. Again, this is going to be short. I really don't want to be breathing this stuff in, so I'm going to do just this section here on my thoughts. The spray bottle has a wide spray and a narrow spray. If you get into a tighter area, you can narrow it down. So without further ado, here's how we do this. It is a mist. You can probably see how it expands out. Try not to breathe that in. So that would be the coverage area right there. As I get in here tighter, I can get on that seam and you can brush this in. I go both ways to really get the product into the canvas material. Is it necessary? No, probably not, but I've already got protection on here and you can see the little dots. You can see how it's kind of beading, right? So I'm using this part of the convertible as kind of my line. I'm about halfway. You can wipe away from the vehicle because these bristles, they kick stuff out, right? Okay, so that's pretty set, right? Now, I could see that some went over towards the window. I'm going to show you how I maneuver around. Kind of go one way up and down and go back and forth just to make sure I'm really working it into the fibers. The seams, I'll go a little heavier. You can spray it in. You can also, in these tighter areas, just a little bit, and just work it in. Now that's probably slightly oversaturated, right? You don't need to go crazy with this stuff, but it's nice to be able to have a brush for the control. I have found that once you make your initial, getting hot in this garage. Once you make your initial lay down, you can use the brush to kind of spread it out so that it's not so heavy. But I get it into the seams. You'd have a hard time kind of spraying into there. And see now, it's kind of out. Again, first application here. You'll see it, be there on the surface. Don't worry about a thing. No big deal. Go back and forth, and you will be fine. Here's how I do, excuse me while I cross across here, the tight confines of my 1.5 car garage. Of course, I left my spray bottle here. Sorry to jiggle you a little bit. I'm basically doing a limbo around the camera stand. So, this will be it. I'm going to set this here on the plastic. So, when I'm spraying over a back glass window where I can't just easily drape, I will come right here, have my folder, give a few sprays. You can bend the folder, create a barrier of the same shape, come around, and all the way down. Whoops. Now, before I completely breathe too much of this in, go around the edge with the brush, make sure to work it in. Both ways, as many directions as you can. You then don't want to let much time go by. I've got my damp microfiber. I've got some rinseless wash on it. Excuse me one more time. Well, actually that'll be one more. And I can see that some of that overspray has gone onto my glass. Okay, I know I'm out of camera. And you just want to have something nearby on the ready so that you can wipe that product up, go around the seam. Be sure to not hit your canvas. You don't want to get anything wet on it. Wipe your plastic, and then you can come with the dry microfiber and just get it all. And some may have gone over here on the spray that I did just a moment ago. Just make sure you keep everything clean, and you'll be fine. It's not going to, cure in 1 second and be there. But I'd get it off as quickly as you can. Why take chances? So, I hope that you have success with your project with this. It can be a moneymaker for you professionals out there, and it really is an amazing product. Like I said, 2.5 years. That is a good amount. Woo! It's hot in here. Anyway, I am going to get to work. I thank you for being with me. Please hit the notification bell so that you'll get further videos as they are put out. I thank each and every one of you. I love the likes. I love the thumbs. Give me a comment if possible. And until next time, enjoy making your vehicles beautiful. Thanks a lot. Bye.